On this episode of That One Movie Podcast, we are going to talk everything that we are anticipating in 2024, Holden. Movies, games, TV shows.
Yes.
That's it.
Very exciting.
Nothing else. Major life events? No.
No, we don't care.
It says here we'll start off spoiler-free, and I'll warn you before we dive into spoilers, but that doesn't really apply this week.
That's just a copied format that I did not delete.
That's okay, Holden. But beforehand, we are going to rate some news from this week in the world of entertainment. During our Tom's segment, Holden, what are some of our stories this week?
Yeah, so a few of the things we're going to talk about: the White Lotus Season 3 cast. We're going to talk about the Minecraft movie, and also that apparently Steven Yeun is leaving the Thunderbolts.
Some spicy stuff. You know, you'll have to hear our rendition of the White Lotus theme. You know, all that good
yeah,
stuff.
we could do that. Like, we'll do that if we review White Lotus Season 3. We'll do that at the start of every episode.
Yes. I cannot wait. You want to jump to any of those discussions, use the time codes down in the description. But you can also just stick around for the whole show. We did appreciate that as well. I'm Jimmy Thie.
I'm Holden Sutter.
And it's time for Tom.
Tom. That One Movie Podcast.
Tom.
Jimmy, before we talk about our most anticipated stuff of the year, let's do the Toms.
Let's do the Toms.
The Toms. Toms is a rapid fire segment in which we rate the news of the week in the world of entertainment on a scale of three famous Toms: Brokaw, Bombadil, and Bergeron. Brokaw's the highest, Bombadil's the lowest, and Bergeron is somewhere in between. Jimmy, you okay?
Yeah, I did that right. I thought I did it wrong.
I think you did it right.
I did do it right. I thought I did it wrong.
Nah, you're too hard on yourself, really.
That's okay. Someone's got to be.
So yeah, this week, like last week, no trailers yet again. We're in the kind of barren wasteland of the end of the year, beginning of the next year. So I don't think a lot of that stuff comes out around this time, but we have some other news. So Steven Yeun is apparently no longer going to be in the new Marvel film Thunderbolts. He was originally playing the superhero Sentry, which I'm not familiar with really at all, but he apparently left due to scheduling conflicts. He said he still wants to do a Marvel project in the future, but it wasn't like any creative differences or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Steven Yeun, you have a little bit more pull than the Thunderbolts. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know what kind of role that character plays, if he's a common Thunderbolts character. I don't know.
Although, I mean, to be fair, I would have said something like that for like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then that turned into some of the major characters in the MCU. So who knows? Maybe Sentry will be the lead person. It's hard to say Sentry without saying century, like 100 years.
Yeah,
but it's Sentry, like a guard.
Sentry. Yeah.
Like, I'm going to beat you up because I am a Roman sentry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a shame because I'd always thought that was kind of cool that he was going to be in this movie. So it makes me a little less excited. But yeah, I mean, good that he's doing whatever it is he wants to make. I think I didn't see if this was confirmed or not, but I think one of the theories is that he's working on a new like Lee Isaac Chung movie with him, because I think like he was confirmed to be cast in that like around the same time, and maybe filming kind of overlaps a bit, but that's cool if he's going to be another one of his movies.
We gave it Bombadils just for our audio listeners.
Yeah.
And just theoretically, if we didn't know who Lee Isaac Chung was off the top of our head, what is stuff that they
director of Minari, which we quite liked from a couple years ago.
My favorite movie of 2021.
That's right. I forgot that was your favorite.
2020, 2021, one of those years.
2021. Next up in news, Jimmy, White Lotus Season 3 has some cast members that were revealed. So Parker Posey, Jason Isaacs, Michelle Monaghan, Leslie Bibb, and Dom Hetrick-Hull are all confirmed for the upcoming season. And Carrie Coon is apparently also in talks, but not confirmed quite yet.
Wow, all those people that their names are familiar, but I don't know what.
Isn't Jason Isaacs Lucius Malfoy?
Oh, yes. Potter.
Yeah.
Lucius Malfoy. Okay, he's one of them. Michelle Monaghan is in
True Detective.
True Detective, yep.
Parker Posey was in Beau is Afraid.
Okay. What was the last one?
Dom Hetrical.
Well,
He's
I was looking at Carrie Coon.
Oh, Carrie Coon. She Leftovers.
Oh, Leftovers. She's Nora Durst.
Yes. And the mom in Ghostbusters.
And the mom in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Dom Hetrical.
That's the only name I'm not familiar with, so I'd be interested to see what he's been in.
He looks like he looks like he's in a lot of Thai stuff.
Okay.
Thailand.
Interesting. Yeah, not familiar with him, but
well, it takes place in Thailand, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
That they would get someone from Thailand.
Yeah.
To play
that does make sense.
I like those people, sure, why not? Brokaw. Yeah. Nothing like looking up who people are during a show.
Yeah. This is a Brokaw for me. Seems like a good cast so far, and I'm sure it's only gonna get bigger. So cool. Jimmy, apparently the Safdie brothers are no longer making movies together. Benny Safdie that says he wants to work on solo directing and that it's a natural progression of what we each want to explore.
Benny Safdie says, I hate my brother.
Yeah.
I want him dead.
Started slanderizing him. He's unsure if they'll direct together in the future again, but it also confirmed that this puts the Adam Sandler movie they were working on together on hold. So...
Do you think that's a very politically correct way of saying we got into a fight and I don't want to work with him anymore?
Yeah, I don't.
Stinks.
It seems like very sudden. I guess I don't know what their relationship is because don't know them personally. But yeah, they were working. They had two really well liked movies and just kind of came out of nowhere.
Good Time and Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just testing my movie trivia knowledge. I'm just, for the audience members who are like the Safdie brothers, they sound familiar. Who are they?
Yeah.
Actually?
It's good you're doing this, Jimmy. Yeah. I'm glad.
We're not gatekeepers.
No.
You're like, oh, you don't know who the Safdie brothers are? Well, you can't comprehend this super intellectual podcast that we got going on here. Look, I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to say Bergeron, good, do what you want to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do what's best for you and your brother, and whatever. Hopefully they get along still.
Yeah. I was excited for new Adam Sandler, team up with them since I liked Uncut Gems. But yeah, I'll give it a Bergeron as well. Hopefully they're fine.
All right, sounds good.
Next up, Jimmy. I don't remember if this first piece of this news we had said before, but I think it's a little old now. But so Leigh Whannell's Wolfman movie he's making for Universal. Apparently,
who's Leigh Whannell, Holden?
He is a writer of one of the co-writers of Saw. He also did The Invisible Man from a couple years ago and Upgrade. He's the star of Saw.
Of Saw. Adam.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, thank you.
Best role in the movie, maybe. I guess Carrie Elways. They're both great, but. Ryan Gosling is no longer starring in it, which is a shame. Was very excited for that, but apparently Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner are now set to star. Christopher Abbott, I most recently saw in the film Sanctuary. He was very good in it. He's in Poor Things. Apparently, people seem to really like him. Not in like a bunch of hugely known stuff, but
okay.
And then Julia Garner was in like Ozark. Which I'm not really. I recognize her, but I don't think I've seen anything she's in. So
cool. Two people I do not know.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling I do know and I love. He's the greatest living actor. Bombadil for me, Holden.
Yeah, I'll give it a Bombadil from the Ryan Gosling perspective, but still excited because Leigh Whannell's still doing it. So we like him. We like him on this podcast.
We do.
Big Leigh Whannell fans.
Yes, Leigh, if you want to come on the pod, we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you. Next up, Jimmy, the Minecraft movie, the long in development Minecraft movie. Jack Black has apparently been cast as main character Steve in the movie.
I think that's a match made in heaven. Minecraft and
I think
Jack
so
Black.
too.
So I'm going to give it a Brokaw. Why not?
It's curious because previously, I believe Jason Momoa was attached to this of all people. So I don't know if he's not in it anymore, if he's playing a different role. But Jack Black, seems fun. We like Jack Black here on this podcast.
We do like Jack Black.
What would you know Jack Black from, Jimmy?
School of Rock is the one that comes to mind immediately for me.
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, the voice of Kung Fu Panda, Po.
Then finally, How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. Apparently, Gerard Butler has been cast as Hiccup's dad, Stoic the Vast, reprising the role he previously did as. I
didn't realize he was the voice actor for Stoic the Vast. Well, I mean, good on him, I guess, that he's just playing that character again. But I still think this is the most a very unnecessary movie.
I kind of agree.
The movie I'm going to give a Bombadil because those movies are so creative and visually interesting, and I think I don't know if the first one is, but certainly the last one is gorgeous to look at from an animation standpoint. And
yeah, first one holds up pretty well, I think.
So I just that was one of the first things we reviewed on this podcast. It was the third one. Yeah, what I don't remember what's
Hidden World.
The Hidden World. I was like, it's something World.
Yeah.
At World's End. Oh, that's not the right third installment. I good on Gerard Butler, I guess, but why are they making this movie?
I don't know.
Bombadil.
Yeah, I'll give it a Bombadil for the movie. Gerard Butler, good for him. I'll give him a Brokaw. Cool. Gerard Butler, what would you know him from, Jimmy?
300.
How to Train Your Dragon.
300.
Yeah. That's it for news this week, Jimmy. Quite a short week. So.
No Popeyes again, Holden. We're being deprived.
Gosh. So the issue is that January is a very infamously kind of dry spell for movies. We'll see. We might get to one next week or the week after, but most of this month I think is going to be a lot of like maybe watching Oscar noms and stuff, which means no Popeyes.
No, we'll have to like drive to Popeyes and then drive to one of our places.
Yeah, probably. We need it. We need our fix.
We could just watch. Maestro at Popeyes
on our phones.
Why can't I think of a movie that we haven't seen that's going to be nominated?
Holdovers.
Yeah, Holdovers. What else is
Maestro? Poor Things, maybe.
You keep saying Maestro like Maestro. It's a 3-syllable word.
I don't know. Maestro. I feel like it is probably just Maestro. I feel like people say it differently. It's one of those words that depending on who you are, you might say it with 3 syllables.
At least you're not a maestro.
No.
Guy. Let's see. Maestro.
I think it is just Maestro, though. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I just have a habit of doing the 3 syllables. This is thrilling.
Yeah, it is too. Okay. I just wanted. Did this work?
Maestro.
Do that one more time.
Maestro.
There you go.
Hopefully that was picked up there. Publicly humiliating Holden.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against it, Jimmy. I'm okay with that. Anyway, are we done with news and everything?
Yes, we are done with all the news already. Wow.
What a short week this week.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, a short week. I think it's gonna be 7 days this week, but
yeah. Average week.
Short pod for the week. But we're going to dive into our most anticipated because 2024's got some exciting things coming, Holden. It may not be here yet, but we're excited for them. So we're going to start off with our most anticipated movies, then go on to TV shows, then do games, and then I like to do a little most anticipated overall at the end.
Oh, I completely forgot to put that together.
Well, that's something you could just
I'll do it
out
on the fly.
So let's start with that. If you want to, we'll have Holden usually run through his, and then I'll just give mine at the end. So if you want to, again, down the time codes, if you're like, wow, Jimmy's got horrible taste, you can just jump to the Holden sections, and then we'll talk about them as we go through them. All right, this is our most anticipated movies of 2024.
All right, Jimmy, time to talk about our anticipated stuff of the year. We're going to start with our movies. As you mentioned before the break, we're going to run through my list first, talk a little bit about each movie, kind of maybe what we're excited about, and you'll mention where it's at on your list, if it's on your list. And then we'll go through.
I'll say, Holden, how do you not have Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah. Wow.
How do you not have Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones. Yeah, and in both of those cases, I think I was proven right.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Maybe I'm just that good. Anyway, without further ado, let's start with our movies list, Jimmy.
Yes.
At number 10, I have A Quiet Place Day One.
That's on mine.
What do you have it?
I got it at, let's see, where do I got it? I should have probably had that pulled up. I have that as number 6.
Okay.
Got a number 6 this year.
So I guess before we get too into it, I think the movies one is the most well fleshed out of the lists, just because in terms of TV shows and especially video games, I feel like there's less, at least that we know is coming out right now this year. But But Quiet Place Day One is a movie I'm pretty excited for. It's directed by Michael Sarnowski, I think, who did Pig. Nicolas Cage
Never
movie.
did see that.
It's very good. So, I mean, I'm sure this is going to be like a completely different kind of movie, falling more in line with the other Quiet Places. We'll see. But he's a good director, at least from that one movie he's made. So it's got Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. So Eddie Munson.
Eddie Munson. I was like, what would I know Joseph Quinn from?
Yeah.
Lupita Nyong'o, she's in Star Wars Maz Kanata. She's
that's her most well-known thing.
Yep, she's in Black Panther, right? Who's she?
Yeah, she's the one with the rings.
She's a great actress.
She is.
It'll be good. Looking forward to it. Number 6 is for me.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Number 9, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Don't have it just because I haven't seen the other 3.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, this is like the previous trilogy kind of ended and it felt like a conclusive ending. This is a continuation. Still seems interesting. Have the director of Maze Runner on it. We'll see. The trailer looks good, at least visually.
You know, that comes out the same day as Furiosa.
I know. I saw
and
that.
Garfield.
Man, Garfield's going to reign supreme. Actually might, honestly, against those two. But yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You don't have it, but that's okay.
They got to move one of those. You can't have Furiosa and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes come out the same day.
That's a Barbenheimer situation, except it's not.
It's not at all. It's just 2 movies directly competing for the same audience.
Yeah, one of them's going to move. We'll see who.
Yeah, who's going to blink?
Yeah. Number 8. This is okay. So I feel like on each of my lists, I have one thing that could very well turn out to be not very good, but I'm shot in the dark here. Number 8, I have Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff.
Yeah. I'm not anticipating that one because I don't know. I just like, for John Wick, it's got to be so insanely good.
Yeah.
That I'm just not interested in a spinoff in that world. The world to me isn't as interesting as it is to other people. I just like the straight up action.
I like the world. I'm hoping, and it's not directed by Chad Stahelski, so I'm doubtful the action will be up to par, but one can hope. It's starring Ana de Armas. She's good. But yeah, this is my shot in the dark. Maybe it's going to be really bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is like on the radar, but like, it for me to enjoy that type of movie, it has to be insanely good.
Mm-hmm. John Wick Chapter 4.
Because if it is not, I'm just like, that's just a nothing movie to me.
Sure.
So that's kind of why it's not on my list.
Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair. Number 7, I have Drive Away Dolls.
Yeah, the Coen brother. Well, one Coen.
One Coen.
One Coen and one
one
Safdie.
of the Coens.
One of the Coen brothers should work with one of the Safdie brothers.
Yes. Yeah. Did you have this on your list at all?
No, I did not.
Okay. I think we talked about this trailer when it first came out. This was like first half of this year. And then I got delayed and I kind of forgot about it. But then I think it's coming out end of February now. Trailer looked good and the names attached, the people that are starring in it, all very good. So, and it looks like it's going to be following more of classic Coen brothers, like comedic crime tone, more so than like Tragedy of Macbeth did, which is very serious and dour and everything. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Another movie that I wouldn't expect you to have this on your list, but like the trailer came out a long time ago and the movie just never came out, was that Challengers movie with Zendaya.
Okay, that's actually, I completely forgot about that and I didn't even put it in my honorable mentions. I might have replaced like Ballerina or something with that because the director's very good, if nothing else. So, and Zendaya's great. I don't know. So yeah, that's a good one. Is that on your list at all?
No,
Challengers?
It's not. Neither of these are on my list.
Okay. Number 6, I have Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. That's what I have. I think I have it 10th here. My phone went to sleep. I got that one. No, 9. Number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna like it, but it will be very good. It'll be like The Lighthouse, where I'm like, wow, what a great movie that I just did not like.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's got a very good cast attached to it. Robert Eggers, who did The Witch, The Lighthouse, and Northman.
I freaking love The Northman.
The Northman's so good. And I'm sure this is going to be much more in line with the other two, which I don't like as much, but still, I don't like The Witch at all. But Yeah, I don't know. And this is also, I think, scheduled to come out like the very last weekend of the year. So there's a strong chance this just doesn't come out this year. This might be a 2025 movie.
It could be.
But regardless, interested. So, do you have anything else to say about
Nosferatu? No, I just think it's going to be very good, and I'm not going to like it. Who's in it again?
Bill Skarsgård, I think.
Yeah, right?
There's some other people. That's like the main one I remember. Anya Taylor-Joy might be in it too. I can't remember. I don't know. Anyway, number 5, I have Deadpool 3.
That's where I have Deadpool 3 number 4.
Oh, nice.
So pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only Marvel movie coming out this year. I like the first 2 Deadpool movies. Haven't seen them in quite a while, so maybe I don't like them as much anymore. But I'm just very interested to see not only an MCU R-rated movie, but to see how this is like, I don't know, going to tie into the larger picture and everything. It's the only one coming out this year, like I said. So I don't know. What do you think about it?
I just think this will be the thing where I'm like, oh, the MCU's back and Deadpool's just what we needed and all this stuff. And this is so great. And then, when the next movie comes out, that's all going to go away again. And
all the goodwill's gone.
But I think, of the upcoming MCU movies, this is the only one I care about for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else I'm going to look forward to. But I do think I've got confidence in them. I've only seen each one once when they were in theaters. So
the first one, I have this vague recollection of the last time I saw it. I didn't like it as much, but I think it was just like one of those movies that I saw a lot when it first came out. I had just like turned 17 when that came out. So I was like able to see it in theaters. I think I saw it 2 or 3 times in theaters, honestly. The second one I remember liking more, but I also think I have seen that one less. So maybe only once or twice.
Yeah. I remember a couple standout scenes for the second one, but I feel like those movies probably aren't as good the second time, though.
Probably
like you
not.
said. So maybe I should just not watch them again.
Anyway, number 4, another movie that's probably going to get delayed, but maybe still to this year is Mickey 17.
That's what I got. That number 3. That's coming out March 29th. It says.
Yeah, and we don't have like any trailer aside from like a teaser trailer that came out a year and a half ago. It's just like Robert Pattinson laying down on a table or something.
You don't know how much of the movie is that.
Yeah, who knows?
We haven't even gotten Mickey 1 through 16 yet.
Yeah, where the heck are those? Mickey 17 is the new Bong Joon-ho movie, director of Parasite and Snowpiercer and a bunch of other stuff. So mostly just excited for like his name being attached. Robert Pattinson's in it. I can't remember who else, but I think this one is supposed to be like English language, similar to Snowpiercer. But sci-fi movie, so yeah, interested to see what comes of it. First movie since Parasite.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey Mouse enters the public domain, and here you get all this swap. No, not related to Mickey Mouse. Sci-fi, weird stuff, Bong Joon-ho, Robert Pattinson. That's definitely thumbs up for me. I got it at number 3. So.
Yeah, sweet.
There we go.
Number 3, which I assume is going to be your number 2, is Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... Obviously, we're very excited for it. We like Dune Part 1. Denis Villeneuve, great director. And yeah, I don't know. Trailers have looked very good.
Yeah.
You pointed out that the most recent trailer is probably the best one.
I think agree. So. I mean, having not read the book and not knowing what to look forward to. Look, I like Dune Part 1. I've only seen it once. I'm like excited. I'm excited for these movies, but there's not really a lot that I'm like, I just am on the edge of my seat.
No. Well, yeah. And I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I'm curious to see what happens because everyone like praises this book and everything, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more so interested in just seeing the cast and the insane visuals and everything that get pulled off. But yeah, apparently the second half of the book gets pretty crazy. So
yeah. Let's hope so. Let's ride some giant space worms.
Yeah, giant sandworm things.
To the box office success and critical success. Can't wait for that headline. Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2 rides giant sandworm to box office to $1 billion. No, I don't. I think that's right on.
Number 2, I have Furiosa.
Yeah, I've got that number 7.
Okay. Yeah, the new Mad Max spinoff. I think that trailer, every time I see the trailer, I get more hyped for this movie. And I've said before that I've come around on Mad Max Fury Road maybe more than any other movie ever. So I'm just very excited to see how this one turns out. It looks crazy, like Matt Fury Road.
Bad news for you, Holden. We're seeing Garfield that weekend.
No. Garfield. I don't even have Garfield in my honorable mentions. Who cares?
Isn't it Chris Pratt?
Yeah, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt.
Furiosa, like I need to rewatch Mad Max Fury Road. I probably will enjoy it more now, the more I've gotten into filmmaking and whatnot, and just appreciation for the craft behind it. Because I've only seen it the one time, and I did really like it. I just,
I'm kind of hoping our local state theater plays it before this comes out or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Cool. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I'm especially excited to see Chris Hemsworth in that kind of against type. Yeah. As the weird guy who's probably the villain.
Yeah, probably.
Number one, I mean, this goes without saying for both of us.
If you've been listening, it's Saw 11.
Saw 11, yes. Saw 11 is easily number one.
Absolutely.
The moment it was announced, it was number one in my heart.
Top of the list. There would have had to have been something pretty crazy coming out this year to top Saw 11.
Unanimous choice. Unanimous. Easy. September 27th cannot come soon enough.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if we're starting to get yearly Saw releases again, we're living in a good time, Jimmy.
Oh yes. It's this renaissance.
The Renaissance. Maybe we'll get more Hoffman in this movie.
I hope so.
Hope we get more Hoffman in this movie.
Costas Mandalore.
And I'm sure, of course, as always, more Tobin Bell, who's always great. We don't have writer director attached, not that it super matters I guess on the writing standpoint, but director I would like what's his name,
Kevin Gruder.
Yeah, Kevin Gruder, our favorite, to come back.
Come on, Kevin, we love you, Kevin.
But yeah, that's it for movies. We can go through what I missed on your list and then maybe some honorable mentions.
Yeah, so I've got a 3-way tie for 10th.
Oh wow.
Here. I'm not expecting any of these to be good, but I'm curious kind of thing. Fall Guy, the Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, director of Bullet Train and Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, I think, and Atomic Blonde, I think.
I never saw Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
David Leitch,
something like that. Yeah.
Uncredited director.
I like Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling a lot. I liked Bullet Train a lot more than a lot of people did. So we'll see.
I like that movie. In thinking about it, in retrospect, I like it more, but I should probably rewatch it.
With the Bullet Train?
Bullet Train, yeah.
Did you like it or did you not like it?
I think I liked it, but I had some big issues with it. But I'm not really remembering what any of those issues were. I just remember the fun parts of that movie. So I don't know.
I don't know. It's a movie I don't ever need to see again and just like it. The one time I saw it. Don't need to go back and tarnish it. Then I have, just for morbid curiosity, Civil War, Alex Garland. It's got my man Jesse Plemons in it. What more needs to be said? Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec is the president of the USA, or at least part of it. Florida and
California
Texas and California are on the same team. See how that works.
Yeah.
We'll see. Apparently it's an hour and 56 minutes. There were some rumors that was over 3 hours. It's not. Hour 56. That's a nice tight run time. And then I have Gladiator 2, because why not?
I have that as an honorable mention.
I think the first one is all right.
Good performances.
Yeah, I think it's a little overrated, but visually pretty spectacular for the time. So I'm excited for that from that standpoint. Ancient Rome,
Sure.
It's Roman Empire.
Yeah.
That's November 22nd. That's coming out. Then at number 9, I've got Nosferatu. Number 8, again, Joker, Folie à Deux.
I have that as an honorable mention.
Just because,
what is this going to be?
What is this? This is one of the biggest swings.
Yeah, it's going to be a musical.
Cinema history. It's a musical.
Yeah. Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn.
Genius.
Yeah, I am very intrigued by it, just by what we've heard about it. And Joaquin Phoenix is coming back for it. I think that means at least he likes the script, I would think. So I don't know.
It's the weekend after Saw 11.
Oh wow, packed a couple weeks there.
Yeah. Then I have Furiosa at 7, A Quiet Place Day 1 at 6, Inside Out 2, number 5. You did not have this on your list.
I didn't even have this as I'd probably add this as an honorable mention. I forgot.
I really like Inside Out, the first one. I appreciate that more every time I see it. So I'm excited for another installment in that story. Then I have Deadpool 3 at 4, Mickey 17 at 3, Dune Part 2 at 2, and Saw 11 as number 1. To no one's surprise. Those are my movies.
Yeah. My honorable mentions, I have Alien Romulus by the Evil Dead reboot director, so I'm interested to just see how a new Alien movie with that director is. I have Sonic 3, because, all right. Trap, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't have down here, I would add Kung Fu Panda 4 and Terrifier 3, the slashers series that I don't love, but I am interested in watching all of them because they are very violent and practically very impressive. So,
and Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web.
Of course. I thought about putting Madam Web at like number 10 because I am that's like a month and a half away. I'm so curious to see how it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be terrible. I think it's just going to be the most nothing movie of all time.
Yeah, that's probably more likely. I'd love it to be terrible.
Yeah,
though.
see, that's the problem. I just think it's going to be mediocre and boring and generic. It's going to be just
You're
nothing.
probably right. Yeah.
That's there's no fun in that.
No.
If you're going to be bad, be a Morbius. Come on. Actually, wasn't Morbius just boring though? I can't remember.
Morbius, I think, is kind of funny bad at certain points. You remember how it just like ends? Like
No.
he kills Matt Smith and then just the movie
Spoilers.
ends. Yeah, if you care.
I don't remember that. I just remember not being able to see the last fight.
Yeah.
Anything else to say movie-wise here?
No, I don't think so.
All right, let's talk about our most anticipated TV shows of 2024. Holden, let's start off your list here. Number 10, what do you got?
Number 10. So
or if you have 10.
Yeah, I do have 10. I actually have a couple honorable mentions too. Number 10 is one that prior to coming up with this list, I'd actually never heard of, but it's called The Sympathizer.
It's a Max show, right?
Yeah,
I saw this on lists. I didn't really look into it.
So it's apparently Park Chan-wook is a co-showrunner on it, the Old Boy director. And it's a series. I have the synopsis here. It's based on the story of the captain, a North Vietnam plant in the South Vietnam Army. He is forced to flee to the. Sorry. Don't have it all up here. He's forced to flee to the United States with his general near the end of the Vietnam War. While living with a community of South Vietnamese refugees, he continues to secretly spy on the community and report back to the Viet Cong, struggling between his original loyalties and his new life. So I have that, and apparently also Robert Downey Jr. is like a major antagonist in it too. So very interesting people behind it. Sounds like an interesting concept. So number 10, there we go.
HBO.
Yep. So HBO's got a good track record most of the time.
Interesting.
Number 9, I have Win or Lose, which is Pixar's first like TV show they're doing. And it's baseball related, Jimmy.
Baseball.
I forgot to write down the
Sounds
actual
like a
concept.
home run.
Yeah. I forgot to write down the actual concept here. I do know it is baseball related, and yes, it's like full Pixar kind of quality animation. So I guess that's mostly why I'm interested to see how they do a TV show.
I hope they knock it out of the park.
Yeah, good one. Keep them coming. Number 8, I have. I added this one also just today. True Detective Night Country, the new season, because apparently it's really good.
Oh, cool.
Apparently it's like review wise, it's getting close to like season 1 level.
Wow, yeah, there we go.
So I haven't seen seasons 2 or 3 of True Detective, but it's anthology, so you don't really need to. But yeah, that's.
Are there two? Was there a 4th season, or is this the 4th season?
This is the 4th season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they have subtitles.
Yeah, they do. I guess
they probably should have done that from the beginning.
That would have been. Yeah, that would have made more sense. I think it would have been
True Detective : the good one, the first one with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Number 7, I have Fallout. Just because I think the trailer looked interesting for that. I don't know. I'm not like a big Fallout guy or anything, but we'll see.
I tried to rank them on, am I actually going to watch this? Are you actually going to watch Fallout?
I might if it's good.
Okay. I probably won't.
That's fair.
It would have to be a 9 out of 10 show at least to get me to watch it, I would say. Is that Prime?
That's Prime, yeah.
Prime, yeah. I don't think I have Prime right now.
Number 6, I have The Penguin.
I have The Penguin on mine. This is the first one we match up. I have that number 5.
Okay. Yeah, this is the spin-off show from the Batman, so it's going to be Colin Farrell. Get all the Collins mixed up.
Brother
sometimes.
of Will Ferrell.
Yes. Yeah, and I can't remember if this is like a prequel or if this is after the events of the Batman, but he was very good as the Penguin in the Batman, so we'll see how this turns out. We don't know much about it at all.
No.
So, bit of a swing. We'll see.
Not part of the DCU.
No.
But Matt Reeves, I always want to say Matt Smith. Matt Reeves' Arkham show that he's making is part of the DCU.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
The way they're doing this. Anyway, number 5, this is one that's also not going to be on your list, is the final season of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I don't have that. I've seen one episode. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I thought this most recent season was like the best one since season 1, honestly. Very, very good. And so I didn't know until like a couple days ago that apparently this next one they've said is going to be the last. So curious to see how they end it. Hoping they end on a bang.
Mm-hmm.
So
hopefully it doesn't suck blood.
That would that would suck.
I really like to dig my teeth into that show.
Number 4 is, I think, my big swing for this list is Echo.
Yeah, I've got Echo on here. I've got that number 6.
Yeah. Trailer looks good. We'll see. It literally comes out this week. So
yeah, it does. This is the Disney Plus show. The girl who beats everybody up in Hawkeye.
She's deaf and beats people
the
up.
one interesting character in Hawkeye.
Yeah. It seems to be tying I've been seeing mixed things as to like how much this ties in with like Daredevil and stuff. Obviously, I think Kingpin is kind of the main antagonist of this.
I hope it doesn't, because then I can't watch it, because I'm not going to understand anything, or it's going to spoil Daredevil.
I don't know. We'll see. But
TV
it looks
mature.
good. We'll see. Yeah, TV mature. So that's the first. I mean, this even beaten Deadpool 3 with that for Marvel. So
looks good. Cool. And then my elementary school classmates doing the music. So I want to check that out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's the guy who does Reservation Dogs.
Reservation Dogs. Yep.
The number 3 I have kind of a cheat is more on cinema at the cinema.
Nice.
Which is just the web TV show I keep watching. The new season actually just started this week. Very into it. This shirt is actually an on cinema shirt. So repping this week. Very good. I keep every time I bring it up, I recommend that you guys should check it out. And there's plenty of ways you can find online to like find the right order to watch it, because it is a behemoth, but very funny. Number 2, House of the Dragon season 2.
Yep.
Jimmy.
I have that number 1.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume your number 2 is my number 1 then, probably.
I would think so. Although it's weird that this hasn't. When I pulled up like what's coming out in 2024, like my number 2 one was hardly mentioned anywhere.
Yeah, I was
like,
that
what
too.
the heck?
Yeah.
I'm like, am I crazy? And I looked at it. It's like,
I went
no,
to
it's
Wikipedia's
definitely
list
coming out,
and a couple other places. Yeah, no, it's definitely coming out this year. But
all right, but House of the Dragon, it's my number 1. I mean, it's a toss up between number 1 and number 2 for me. I think just because I love Game of Thrones and that world so much, and I've heard from people who like the book that the season 2 is just going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And this is when things get really interesting.
I'm very
and great.
excited.
So,
seems like it's going to be juicy.
Yeah. So very excited for that. And it's coming probably around summertime on Max, sounds like. So I think that first season came out about August. So I would imagine around that time frame again. Yes. I think for me, this one, because Emily watched it with me, I think that's why I had it number 1. And then just that Sunday night, I watched that the moment it came out.
I usually did too.
And I think for my number 2 option, it's not, I couldn't tell you what time that came out, but it's like Sunday night, 8:00, I'm watching House of the Dragon.
HBO is really good about that. HBO is really good about setting certain times for that. Like they did that with
freaking Disney Plus. So it's like you got to wake up at 2 a.m. Otherwise, the Mandalorian season 2 finale is going to be spoiled for you.
It's like weirdly inconsistent on Disney Plus too.
Yeah.
They'll just like sometimes do it Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays. It's so weird.
But yeah, you're right, because House of the Dragon, The Last of Us. It's like we're watching those.
Euphoria season 2 is that way when I was watching that too. All these shows have like specific set times that are really easy to watch the premiere.
Generates the hype, generates the discussion afterward. I don't understand why more services don't get on board with that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to me. But cool. Yeah, very excited for the House of the Dragon season 2. Number 1 is your number 2, The Boys season 4.
Yes, The Boys season 4.
Yeah, we're big The Boys fans. We liked Gen V, not Gen Z.
I hate Gen Z.
We liked Gen V this year, so curious to see kind of how that ties in with The Boys. But yeah, the first 3 seasons have been very good. 3 was the weakest.
3 was the weakest. Otherwise,
still good,
maybe
though.
this would have been number 1. I mean, when a couple years ago, Better Call Saul and The Boys were my 2 favorite shows on TV. So Better Call Saul's gone. House of the Dragon's here. Now these are my 2 probably favorite ongoing shows.
Sure.
But yeah, no, obviously, like, can they, how long can they keep doing this? I've heard 5 seasons. Is that? I don't know.
I've heard that too, but I feel like they
confirmed.
I don't know. I feel like they could probably draw this out however long they want.
They could, but I think they shouldn't.
Yeah, no,
I think they
I'm
need
in
to
that
start
part
wrapping
too.
it up. Like season 3 felt like it was being dragged along. Like we need to start, like the ball needs to start rolling down the hill a little bit. We've been pushing it up the hill. We're at the peak, and now we got to get some resolution to some things, I think. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be incredible. Looks like our guy Brady Singer, Sioux Falls native, is going to be the president.
Yep.
Excited for that. But yeah, 2024 sometime. Who knows? Very excited. So you have any other things to say? Otherwise, I'll run through my list here.
No, I've got a couple honorable mentions I'll mention after. But what about you? What are your top?
Yeah.
Do you have
So
10?
yeah, I have 10. 10, 9, and 8. I are maybes gonna watch. Number 10, I have Manhunt, which is an Apple TV Plus show. It's
I saw it on the list. I didn't read
based
about
on a
it.
book about hunting down John Wilkes Booth.
Ooh,
Shot Abraham Lincoln. It's supposed to be kind of like a thriller mini series.
That seems cool.
I'm like, that's cool. I would maybe check that out. Another Apple TV Plus American history related thing is Franklin. So I don't even know who. It's about Benjamin Franklin. I don't even know who's playing Franklin. It could be interesting. It's about he's in France and all that, and then goes back for the revolution and whatnot. I don't know. Could be interesting. Probably not going to watch it. In fact, I'm probably going to. That's number 10, and Manhunt's number 9. I think I'm more likely to watch Manhunt.
Okay.
I want to see that guy burn in that barn. Want to see him burn. I wonder if that's going to generate any discourse because you have people with the Confederate flag and all that.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's
Apple TV Plus, so probably not.
John Wilkes. I know. I'm just saying, are people going to be like, this show is, I don't like how they portrayed my hero John Wilkes Booth.
Robert
is
E.
what
Lee.
is what racist people would say, and his defense of state rights. That's not where I stand. Just to be clear,
Don't take that out of context.
not a fan of shooting the president. Just to throw that out there, ain't the president. All right, number 8. I think this one looks cool. Probably won't see it, but if it's really good, I'm like really hoping this is good. Shogun on FX. It's got Hiroyuki Sanada in it.
I've seen like little bits online about it, but I don't even really know what it's about.
I don't know. It's like Japan, samurai, cool stuff. Cool. Shogun.
Yeah, he's a good actor. So
yeah. So if it looks cool, if it is cool, if it's good, yeah,
FX is a pretty good. I feel like FX is pretty underrated overall. It's like close to HBO for me because I feel like all of its shows are typically pretty high quality. So I like it. Fargo, so good.
Yeah, underrated TV channel. I feel like they've kind of overtaken AMC.
Yeah, I would
like
say
AMC
so.
kind of has. They were at the top of the game, and they've kind of in this post Better Call Saul, Walking Dead spinoff number 3 world. I think they're not at the peak anymore. Number 7 is my obligatory Star Wars thing. It's The Acolyte, High Republic. We haven't seen anything. Mention. I don't know.
See if
who cares? I'll probably watch it because it's Star Wars. Number 6 is where I have Echo. Number 5, the Penguin. Number 4, something you did not have on yours, is the 3 Body Problem.
I have that as an honorable mention.
Which people say is an amazing book. Tried to listen to the audiobook, hated the voice, so couldn't get through it. And then it was all a bunch of Chinese names. And when you're trying to listen,
book, right?
Yeah, it's written by a Chinese guy. So when you're trying to listen to it, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to like see these names.
Sure.
And it's just very like dense with like information and like cultural revolution and whatever in the 1960s in China. So it's like, I just need to sit down and read this. I cannot do the audiobook version of this.
Game of Thrones showrunners.
Yeah, D&D, David Benioff, D.B. Weiss are the showrunners. Ryan Johnson is one of the producers. So everybody's favorite, least controversial people are involved.
What a team up.
It's got Samwise Tarly. I was going to say, it does not have him. Samwell Tarly is in it, though.
Okay.
From Game of Thrones. John Bradley or something is his name. Right. Then number 3, I don't think this is coming out. It might. They said maybe the end of 2024. This is the notorious Game of Thrones, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight.
Yeah.
Potentially is coming out in 24. So I have that tentatively at number 3, but it probably won't come out. Then I have The Boys season 4 and House of the Dragon season 2, virtually tied for number 1.
Dang shame that Andor's not coming out this year. That might have been number 1.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Andor's not coming out this year.
No, it's not.
When did we know that?
I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago because I think it was maybe coming late this year, but it got pushed back because they have like other Marvel and Star Wars stuff they want to like put out before then. Because
didn't we kind of infer that from something? Like we were like, this stuff is being pushed back. Is that going to affect Andor? I guess
it wasn't like confirmed, but it wasn't on like the officially released slate.
Wait, when did is it going to be 3 years in between Andor seasons?
Depending on when it comes out, yeah, 2.5 at the very least if it comes out beginning of next year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Andor would okay, this is kind of just a fun hypothetical game. You have House of the Dragon, Boys.
I think Andor would be at the top.
Would you put Andor number 1?
I think so.
It was so good.
It's so good.
I really want to watch it. Oh man,
I loved Andor.
Yeah, I might. But again, there's like Andor doesn't have the the time and date release thing.
It's
going
true
for it.
It's true.
So,
I mean, we did watch it weekly, but yeah, it didn't have like a certain time that we were like sitting down and watching it. Another one I have as an honorable mention, just alongside the Acolyte, is Skeleton Crew, which is
the other one
this year. So
yeah, I didn't even see that on any list.
Yeah, those are like apparently
is
the
that
two Star
one
Wars
where
shows.
the Daniels are doing one of the episodes?
Yeah, and it's Jude Law.
Yeah, who made the Daniels did Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes,
and Swiss Army Man. Both of which we've reviewed on this podcast.
We have done both. We've done all of their
So, shows top heavy shows this year. I would definitely think like when we get to the overall list, like shows, you could see they weigh in the top part and then they just kind of disappear. The rest of my most anticipated of everything list.
A couple honorable mentions I'll mention real quick. I have the Knuckles, the Echidna show on Paramount Plus.
Which of course, Sonic spinoff, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Idris Elba is returning to voice that. We'll see anything about that. The Avatar: The Last Airbender show, and then a spinoff of the Harley Quinn show called Kite Man. Hell yeah. We'll see. Because Kite Man is a major character in Harley Quinn, and he's very funny.
Did that show end?
No. I think they have at least one more season.
You didn't
coming.
have season 3 of The Bear?
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Okay,
otherwise, season 3 might be on there.
I haven't seen The Bear, so I didn't have it. But I figured you had to have it.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'll put that as an honorable mention. But other than that, I guess we're done with TV shows then, Jimmy.
Yeah, on to video games. Video games is our last one. Holden, I don't have anything. I literally just put that Rise of the Ronin game, March 22nd. There is nothing that I am interested in playing. Like, perhaps Final Fantasy VII Part 2 eventually, if I ever play that first one. I'm sure there's a lot of great games coming out. There's just none that I'm going to play. Like, if I'm realistic with myself, I'm not going to play any of these games.
Sure.
But I did create a list of all the games I would like to play in my back catalog. So I have, other than Rise of the Ronin, which is potentially, if that game is good, I would play that. It's a samurai looking Ghost of Tsushima game.
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Technically, I guess, is this year.
That's your number one.
That and Rise of the Ronin are my two. Horizon Forbidden West, Plague Tale Requiem, finish Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, and then also I would like to at one point replay Ghost of Tsushima, Uncharted 4, and Uncharted Lost Legacy. So I have plenty of games I would like to play.
Plague Tale Requiem is free on PlayStation Plus this week.
Yeah, except I don't have it anymore.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. What a shame.
Yeah.
Just have to borrow it from me.
Yeah. Right after I borrow Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, which I keep forgetting to bring over. I do have 10. Now, like, it's not the strongest 10. I would say probably the first, like the top 3 or 4 are like the ones I'm like really excited for. And the other ones are ones that I'll probably check out at some point, not high priority. Number 10, just because, and maybe it would be higher if I put more thought into it, but I added it just because of the trailer we watched, is Rise of the Ronin. Mm-hmm. Looks cool. We'll see how it turns out. It's done by the people who did the Neo games, which are Souls-like, but this seems like it's not so. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's Ghost of Tsushima with a gun.
With a gun and glider.
And a glider.
Yeah, it seems cool. So maybe not as ambitious as Ghost of Tsushima, but like a fun time. Number 9, I have Princess Peach Showtime.
Okay.
What new Nintendo game, Princess Peach starring. It looks cool. It's seemingly you're playing as her and you're playing through like this weird world that's set in like the backdrop of like a stage play or something, and you're kind of going through and playing different roles. I don't exactly understand the full scope of it, but we'll see. Probably will be solid because it's Nintendo first party. Number 8, I have Last of Us 2 Remastered. Number 7, I have...
Did you just play that one once as well? Because you don't even own The Last of Us Part 2.
I do own it, actually. I got it like really cheap at a place, like sealed. I was pretty lucky. But I do want to replay it, and I'll probably just play the remaster eventually. Number 7, I have Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake coming out for the Switch. Puzzle platformer that was originally on the Game Boy that was well received, but I never played it, so we'll see how that turns out. 6, I do have Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't know why I have it that high. We'll see how it turns out.
You had it number 1 last year.
That's true. No, I think I had it 3. I think I had it 1 like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It's gradually gone down. So
yeah, I guess I could have put that on my list, but
we'll see. That is a very much an if it's good. That's my big swing for this list, by the way. Like I said, I have one for
official
each list.
big swing in the list.
Yeah.
Put it on the stamp.
It'd be funny if all of my big swings are just bad. Number 5, Little Nightmares 3, which is a little puzzle platformer indie game. I played the first one a couple years ago. Really liked it. I haven't gotten around to the second one yet, but apparently it's better. So I'll probably play that and then the third one eventually. 4th, this is when it's actual games I'm kind of excited about. The new Yakuza game, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, looks insane. I do not understand how they pump these games out as fast as they do, because they're very high quality. They come out with like one a year, and they, in terms of like writing and graphics and just amount of sheer content, they have so much in this. I do not envy probably the work conditions of that studio. It's probably not good. Number 3, I have the second Hellblade game, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice sequel, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. I really liked the first one a lot, and it's an Xbox exclusive, so we'll see. I'm hoping at some point this year I build a PC and then I can eventually play it. But I really liked the first one. I thought it had a very interesting story, really cool main character. So hopefully the second one turns out. Second one. Number 2, I have Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, which a lot of people say is like the best Mario RPG ever made. It was on the GameCube. I never played it myself. It was on GameCube, and it was one of those games that like the prices would just like skyrocket secondhand. So glad they're finally remaking it for the Switch. So I'll probably play that this year at some point. And number 1 is the one that easily topped it. It's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second part of the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm so excited for it. This is the only game I'm guaranteed to play this year at any point. And I'll probably play it like within the first week or two, probably buy it. So I want to remake at some point before then, but it looks so good. And that section of the original game is a very good section of the game. I mean, the whole game of that original game is good. So I'm interested to see how they put that into the remake treatment. I think it'll be a bit more open world. So we'll see. But yeah. And then some honorable mentions. I have Alone in the Dark reboot. We'll see if that's any good. It's got David Harbour in it. So I mean,
who of course is Sheriff. What's his name?
Jim Hopper.
Jim Hopper from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Alone in the Dark is like a very like legacy like horror series. It was like the original survival horror game pre-Resident Evil. So it's had a lot of bumpy road. We'll see how it is. Looks kind of cool from like the brief snippets I've seen. And then my other two I want to mention are entirely just if they come out this year. These would be in my top 3 if they come out this year. Metroid Prime 4 or any other Metroid Prime remasters like they did the first one this last year. And then Hollow Knight Silk Song. Both games that are very famously in not development hell, because they are confirmed to be worked on, but they are just been delayed to no end. So yeah, we'll see. But that's it for video games for me. Anything you want to add on any video games?
Nope. Very barren year for video games.
It is. It's going to be a good year to catch up. Year to catch up.
Because I really need to catch up.
Yeah. Same. So
there we go.
Yeah, that's it for video games. Should we try to ramshackle a top 10 overall?
Yeah, I can do my top 10 overall while you are kind of ramshackling, as you said.
Let me see if I can just pull out things I'm very excited for real quick.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that, my overall one, it's not that exciting since I literally don't have a single video game on it.
Yeah.
But so it's number 10 is Joker 2. Which just goes to show you how weak it is, I think, overall this year, is because I'm not even really anticipating Joker 2. Number 9, Furiosa. Number 8, A Quiet Place, Day 1. Number 7, Inside Out 2. Number 6, Deadpool 3. Number 5, Mickey 17. Number 4, Dune Part 2. And then my top 3 I am very excited for. So strong top 3. Rest of the list, pretty barren for me. Sure. I've got The Boys Season 4, number 3. House of the Dragon Season 2, number 2. And then Saw 11, number 1. Because, my goodness, it's a year of Saw.
It really is.
Hoffman's coming back, baby.
Very excited.
Let's bring him back.
So my top 10, this is what I think I'd do off the top of my head. Number 10, I'll do the Paper Mario remake. Number 9, let's go with Echo. Number 8, Mickey 17. Number 7, we'll do Furiosa. Number 6, we'll do On Cinema. Number 5, we'll do Dune Part 2, I guess. Number 4, House of the Dragon. Number 3, The Boys. Number 2, Final Fantasy. Number 1, Saw 11.
You kept Saw 11 above Final Fantasy, huh?
It is close, but I can't deny some more Saw up there.
John Kramer will get his piece.
He certainly will.
I want to play a game.
God, I mean, I assume
Final
it's going to be
7 Rebirth.
I assume it's going to be right after Saw 10, but I really hope they just like keep making movies in that chunk of time. I think that just makes it even more funny if there's just a bunch of movies in between Saw 1 and 2.
Yeah. You know what they could do? Mm-hmm. What if they made like a Saw during the Renaissance or something like that?
Well, okay,
so some like you just have John Kramer like stumble upon these documents that kind of inspire him. Well, he's like browsing a catalog while he's waiting for his results that he's got cancer, and he's like Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci made some torture devices.
Yeah.
That would be, well, I mean, we talked about that with Prey or whatever. Yeah. We're like Predator in different time periods. We need more of that. We should do that with Saw. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Come on. Holden, we need to be in Hollywood pitching these things. We would
make a bunch of money for them.
Yeah. So, Leigh Whannell, you hear that? Kevin Gruder, you hear it? You can have that one for free. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Renaissance.
Next one's going to...
And just have it be Tobin Bell again as Leonardo da Vinci. But he's not related to John Kramer at all. It's just Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell in ancient China. Yeah. Great. Wonderful. That's that's our anticipated things of the year. Cannot wait for September 27th.
Yeah,
Saw
so
11.
excited.
So yeah, there we go. We'll move on to our last segment of the show, which of course this week is, and every week really.
Every week. It's the same.
It's been the same since the beginning.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
All right. What did we do this week, Jimmy? Let me pull up my notes real quick so I can remember.
What did I do? Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so I guess first off, I watched Saltburn finally.
Yeah.
Because it's on Prime Video.
Very divisive.
Very divisive. I think it's good. I think it's solid. I think it's like it's a decent movie. I don't like it as much as
Salt
Promising
burn,
Young
more
Woman.
like slow burn. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's not that slow. Very good performances. I think visually it's a very interesting movie too. Those are probably the two best things going for it. I do think it does feel like just weaker Parasite. I feel like that's where a lot of the criticisms kind of stem from, and it's kind of true. I feel like it goes in similar directions. Not really. Has similar themes, and it feels like just less subtle Parasite. So unfortunate that comparison, but overall, I enjoyed it. I think one of the other weak aspects that people get hung up on is there's a bit at the end where it tries to play stuff for a twist, and it just is like not a twist. It's like people. It's like very like people are kind of. I feel like it's very telegraphed. Okay. Essentially,
I've heard there's a moment in this movie that people are like would just shake their head, like that ruins it for a lot of people.
I wonder if it's the moment I'm thinking of. There's a moment that like is people say is like very gross in this movie, and it might be what you're talking about.
Holden's just completely desensitized.
Well, no, it's I had heard that going into it, and I got to and I had heard like the framework of like when it like kind of happens. And when I got to the point, I'm like, this is like not nearly as bad as I thought it was. So I don't know. Maybe I am desensitized.
More or less traumatizing than grandma helping the guy thrust in Midsommar.
Oh, honestly, might be less. Might be less. I don't know. It did not like it. It didn't really faze me at all. It is gross, but I don't know. I feel like it was kind of over hyped in that regard. I also think like this movie is like unnecessarily gatekept online. I've seen there's a lot of people that say that are like upset. Like, if you think this is the most disturbing movie you've ever seen, you don't watch enough movies. I'm just like, who cares? Like if you think it's disturbing, you think it's disturbing. But decent movie. If you like Promising Young Woman, I think it's probably worth a watch. Just to see her second movie.
Yeah. Emerald Fennell.
Emerald Fennell. Yeah. Don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. But yeah, other movies I saw this week, I watched Heat.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I got it. I was shopping at Best Buy Black Friday, and they had like the 4K for like $3. It was so cheap. So I picked it up and I finally watched it. And it was really good. The action is pretty crazy, especially for like 90s. The performance is very good. It's Al Pacino's and Robert De Niro's first movie they were in like on screen together. So kind of cool dynamic there. Val Kilmer's in it too. Is very good. I don't think my biggest gripe with it, and maybe this is like blasphemous to say, is that it is, at least the version I had, is so quiet, and then the action is so loud.
Oh, yeah.
And I understand, like, movies in the 80s and 90s, I think were played into a lot more that, like, gunshots were just, like, really loud. That was, like, used as bigger punch back then. But here, like, I was watching it fairly late at night. My roommate was trying to go to bed, and I would, like, have the volume turned up so loud because I couldn't hear the dialogue at all. And then it would get to an action scene just suddenly, and it would be so loud. My like roommate texted me. My roommate Kale's like, turn it down.
Yeah, well,
so yeah.
They're not the only person you've kept up with your movie watching shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So that's my only thing. I don't know if it's the version I watch. I don't know if that's how it always is. Everything else, very good movie.
You could have worn headphones.
Oh, that's true.
With your PlayStation.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah, that's considerate of you.
A final movie I watched this week is The Handmaiden, which is Park Chan-wook. It was an Amazon Prime movie, Amazon Prime original in the US here, like in 2016. It was really good. Last night I was like, I want to watch a movie, and I was looking at my watch list of things I want to watch. I was like, I'm actually for once in the mood for like just a 2 to 3 hour long movie like tonight. So I picked one, The Handmaiden. It was very good. It's not maybe as dark as like Old Boy gets at certain points. It is still very dark, and it's close as to which one I like more. But I would highly recommend it. It's a very, very good movie. Has a very interesting non-linear structure to it. Great performances. I don't think I've seen any of them in anything else, but they were all very good. So yeah, I'd recommend The Handmaiden. TV, I didn't really watch a lot aside from just like catching up on shows I've been watching. And then video game wise, I got a platinum trophy in Psychonauts 2. Wasn't very hard, but it was a fun game. And I started playing Metroid Prime Remastered because I got that for Christmas this year. And it's very good. It's just Metroid Prime, but it looks really nice on this and runs really well on the Switch. So yeah, I really like Metroid Prime. So
Very good.
what about you, Jimmy? What have you been up to?
I've literally just been watching this Captains of the World FIFA World Cup show on
How is
Netflix.
it?
It's good. I enjoy it. There was this weird Netflix error that like the third episode didn't work for me. Like, so I had to kind of skip past some stuff later. I watched. It's kind of like a documentary where I know I knew what happened in the World Cup. I couldn't remember all the details and all that. So like it was fine to just go to the fourth episode and then kind of go back to the third one. But it was a weird Netflix download hiccup thing.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I like it. If you like soccer, if you like the World Cup, football, check it out. That is literally it though. I have not been. I've been busy getting ready to move because we're getting a house. So that's exciting.
Well, you got a house.
Well, yeah, not completely official yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
We are planning on having a house and moving in early February. So getting ready for that has been my priority.
Understandable.
Done. Yeah, but no, those movies sound good. I'm like, I want to watch movies.
Yeah, I think especially Heat and Handmaiden, I think you should definitely watch. You'd like them. But yeah, next week we're going to be doing, I guess we'll see. Book of Clarence is a movie coming out that Jimmy seems interested in. I haven't seen anything about it, so we might do that. We might do
Which, as we
Oscar
know,
noms.
Holden wears the pants in this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I say adios to my pants at the end of every episode.
Well, see, if it were my way, I would say we go see Mean Girls next week, but you don't want to watch Mean Girls, so
why don't we say
decent reviews?
Well, that's interesting. 94 Rotten Tomatoes, 64 Metacritic.
I think that's a perfect example of like the problem with the Rotten Tomatoes, though, because it's like if everyone just gives it a 6 out of 10, then it's still going to be a very high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But
I want to say it's got James McAvoy and your guy Lakeith Stanfield and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Really?
Huh. Cumberbatch, yeah.
Okay.
And it looks weird.
Okay, so we might do that. Their Echo comes out this week.
Maybe Echo.
All episodes are dropping at once, so I doubt we'll get to it next week because Jimmy's slow. Yeah. I could get to it next week, but Jimmy's got a life, I guess. So we'll probably review that in the next couple weeks at some point. But yeah.
And that review will be an echo of everything else. You've heard about it by that point.
Yeah, by that point.
But it'll be coming from our lovely velvety voices.
Yes.
So stick around for that.
If you want to leave us a request, you can do so by leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes or email us at tompodcast@gmail.com or donate to our Patreon. And I think that's it.
All right, sweet. Until next time, adios, pantalones.
Love you.